There are places your mind wanders just before sleep. Dark corners where the rules bend and reason fades. Tonight we visit 4 of them. Stories that whisper beneath the floorboards, flicker behind your reflection, and tap gently at your doorstep. You're listening to Twilight Whispers. Stay with me. Just don't look behind you. My dad passed away last spring. He was old school, still had a landline with one of those clunky tape answering machines. When I was cleaning out his house, I found it unplugged in a box. I almost threw it out, but decided to plug it in one last time. There was one message, dated 3 days after he died. The voice was static-filled, hard to make out, but it was him. "Don't let her in," he said. I froze. Played it back 10 times. That's all it said. Over and over. Don't let her in. Don't let her in. I figured it had to be a mistake. Some old message that got mislabeled. But that night, around 2 a.m., someone knocked on my door. A woman, pale, no coat, just standing there, smiling. She didn't say a word. I didn't open it. And every night since, she comes back. There's a reason the dark is scary. It's not because it hides monsters. It's because it hides everything. The unknown is the oldest fear we have. When our ancestors huddled in caves, they feared the shadows, because shadows could mean predators. That fear, it never left. Today, it's not saber-toothed tigers in the brush. It's the voicemail you didn't hear come in. The door that was unlocked, even though you know you locked it. It's the moment you wake up at 3:17 a.m., heart pounding, and don't know why. The unknown triggers a primal alarm in our minds. Your brain wants an answer, but horror refuses to give you one. That's why so many horror stories don't end with a resolution. Because not knowing is scarier than the truth. A face in the window? That's terrifying. But hearing footsteps upstairs. When you live alone, and no one ever appears, that's worse. Because it leaves space for your imagination to rot in. And in the dark corners of your imagination, the unknown becomes anything, and anything can be deadly. I was 17 the night I stayed in room 104. Not because I wanted to, but because my car died on a back road, and the only place nearby was a cheap roadside motel with a flickering neon sign that read, "Moonlight Inn." The front desk clerk didn't look up when I asked for a room. He just handed me a key and muttered, "Don't touch the mirror." I laughed. Thought he was just being weird. But when I opened the door to 104, I understood. The room was fine. Dated, ugly carpet, buzzing fridge. But the mirror, it was massive, taller than me, and it wasn't reflecting right. My movements lagged by half a second. The version of me inside the glass blinked after I did. I turned away, lay down, tried not to look. But at 3:14 a.m., something moved. Not in the room, in the mirror. I sat up and stared. My reflection was still lying down. It smiled. I ran out that night, left everything behind. The clerk didn't even seem surprised. I drove until the sun came up, parked at a gas station, and caught my breath. In the bathroom mirror, I looked up. My reflection was still lying down. There's something about mirrors that unsettles us. Something ancient. You've probably heard stories. Mirrors showing something behind you. Or worse, your reflection not moving at the same time you do. But why do they creep us out so much? It goes back thousands of years. In many cultures, mirrors were believed to be portals, gateways to the spirit world. The ancient Greeks thought souls could get trapped inside them. During Victorian funerals, people would cover all the mirrors in the house, so the dead couldn't get caught. Even today, we associate mirrors with bad luck. Ever heard of Bloody Mary? The ritual only works in a mirror's reflection. Psychologically, mirrors mess with our sense of identity. You think it's you in there, but it's reversed, distorted, and sometimes a little too still. Ever stare too long at your own reflection in the dark? That's the Troxler effect. Your brain starts to erase familiar features, and your face warps. It's not just fear of ghosts, it's fear of the self, and maybe fear of who might be watching from the other side. I live alone. No pets, no roommates. That's important. A few nights ago I was brushing my teeth before bed when I heard knocking. Not on the front door, on the bathroom door. I froze. It was soft, deliberate. 3 slow knocks. I opened the door. Nothing there. The hallway was dark, quiet. I chalked it up to paranoia. But then it happened again the next night. Same time, same knock. This time, I opened the door quicker. And for a split second, I swear I saw her, just a glimpse. A woman in gray, standing at the end of the hall. No face, just hair. Then gone. I started locking the bathroom door, but the knocking didn't stop. Last night, I decided to film it. I set my phone to record while I brushed. When I checked the footage, I didn't hear anything, but I did see something behind me. The woman, standing in the shower, not knocking anymore, just smiling. There's a photograph hanging in my grandma's house. It's old, black and white, in a gold frame. It shows a man standing in front of a house, our house actually, but I don't recognize him. When I asked my grandma about it, she said, "We don't talk about him." That's it. No name, no backstory, just, don't talk about him. But I noticed something weird the last time I visited. He looked different, like his head was turned slightly, just enough to face the camera. I thought I was imagining things, but I checked old family photos, ones where the frame was in the background. In those, the man was facing away, always, but now, he's watching. I even took a picture of the frame myself, and when I looked at it later, he was closer, not in the room, still in the picture, just closer. I told my grandma. She made me take it off the wall and bury it in the attic. That was last week. I live miles away now, but tonight. I woke up, and there's a gold frame hanging in my hallway. The man is smiling. If you're still with me, thank you for listening. But remember, some stories don't end when the screen fades. If you hear knocking tonight, don't answer. And if you liked what you heard, subscribe for more. Twilight Whispers will be waiting.